And welcome back to Sunday Live right here on Citizen Television. On to our feature of the evening. And for several weeks now, Kenyans have vented on social media and the mainstream media as well on what some of them see as an uncontrolled influx of foreign traders into Kenya. Now, the debate was sparked by the presence of Chinese businessmen in markets such as Gikomba and the popular Burma meat joint. But are the traders breaking the law? Or are their Kenyan counterparts simply feeling the heat of a changing global system?
Well, for the last several weeks, Citizen TV has combed the lengths and breadths of downtown Nairobi to meet these new arrivals and their older counterparts from the East African region and beyond. And tonight we bring you the story of the changing face of Kenya's retail sector, the mixed feelings about foreign traders, and the loopholes that may be exposing the Kenyan small-scale trader.
That's right. Here now is Wahiga Mwaura with that special report. We're calling it Province of China.
We will deport them. The 6 in Nairobi, there were 6. By tomorrow watakuwa wanakula sapa kwao because tutawarudisha kwao.
We enter your country actually under only allowed by you. Otherwise we cannot enter your country. There are some very few illegal people. But that happens around the world.
They are not only Chinese. I see people coming even from some of our own African countries, like Nigeria and other places, flooding our markets.
For nearly 10 years now, swarms of helmeted Chinese construction workers and engineers have been a familiar sight as the standard gauge railway snaked its way from Mombasa to the capital city. And now it's on its way to Naivasha. But in recent months, the conversation has shifted to a new type of Chinese, the small-scale Chinese trader, who is real and present in the most unlikely of locations. We set to find out if indeed there is an unusual Chinese influx, or just a few smart businessmen taking advantage of a weak regulatory system. The term Chinatown has been a pretty foreign concept for Kenyans until now. Behind me, a Kenya Chinatown complex where you can get all manner of Chinese goods in one location without having to physically travel to China. Local traders complain of unfair competition, but on the flip side admit that it is now easier to get low-cost goods locally, which leads to a lower cost of goods for consumers.
Nanunua sana kwa wa China. Huko Mombasa Road wako na go down huko. Wametusaidia sana. Juu mtu anaedaga na uwezo wake.
Mzigo ya China haikuangi na bei iko juu sana, bei yake iko katikati, iko average price. So unakuta hiyo ndio unaweza fanya kazi nayo with minimum amount ya kwanza nayo.
A random survey during our visits to River Road revealed that a manhole cover with dimensions of 18 by 24 from a Chinese-owned store would cost you 1,200 Kenya shillings, whilst a Kenyan-owned shop would charge you 1,800 Kenya shillings for the same. The Kenyan proprietor claims that his import cost per manhole is that same 1,200 Kenya shillings.
So value chains and supply chains in the world have changed. People buy cheaper things because of labor and the subsidies the Chinese government offer, and they produce there. So they also control the supply chain. They are the guys who will bring it cheaper. If a product is expensive in any country, you'll find that there are Chinese playing that part in all places of the world. The disruption has happened everywhere in the world with the Chinese involvement. So I think it's upon looking at opportunities where you can plug in.
But the presence of Chinese traders in spaces typically occupied by Kenyans has put the government on the spot over the issuance of work permits and the enforcement of existing laws. Just a few days ago, Interior CS Dr. Fred Matiang'i announced that he was deporting 7 Chinese nationals for doing business in the country illegally.
We stopped issuing work permits in Kenya. Anyone who wants a work permit will have to apply for it from wherever they are in their country, and they will only come here when they have been issued with a work permit.
Despite the tough talk, Citizen TV has established that at least 2 of the 5 traders in Gikomba had alien ID cards given to them by the very Kenyan government. This would have enabled them to apply for KRA pins and other services. In addition, we can confirm that one of them, 23-year-old Yang Udai, had a special pass issued by the Immigration Department in May 2019, and it enabled him to, and I quote, enter or remain in Kenya for a limited period for purposes of temporarily conducting a business, trade or profession, end quote. The pass issued was conditional. However, as he was only permitted to work as a regional business administrator, the vagueness of the term regional business administrator in government documentation could mean that a foreign national can venture into any business in Kenya without technically breaking the law. The pass also showed that Ying was employed by Kin Hong Seng Trade Company Limited. We carried out a quick search on the eCitizen platform, which revealed that this company was registered in Kenya in 2018 and has its offices at an apartment block in Lavington, Nairobi. Our attempts to reach the Kim Hong Sen offices for a comment proved futile, as their phone had been off since Tuesday. Another of the traders, 25-year-old Yin Wen, had a 2-year work permit, which showed that he was supposed to be operating in Kenya as a mechanical engineer with the Talimo Trading Agency. We searched for the Talimo Trading Agency on the eCitizen platform, but no business of such a name could be found. According to Kenya's Investment Promotion Act 2014, foreign investors must benefit the country in promoting acquisition of new skills and promoting the use of local resources. Nevertheless, Kenya's immigration laws allow non-nationals easy access to investment certificates with the necessary permits if they spend at least 10 million Kenya shillings to set up a business in Kenya. So were the Chinese traders really doing anything illegal in Gikomba to deserve deportation? Or does Kenya's legal framework simply have loopholes that clever business people easily capitalize on?
Like we are seeing trading in clothes, trading in shoes, trading in electronics. The law does not, those pass leaves do not cover those ones, and the work permits do not cover those ones.
Chinese Ambassador Wu Peng, however, told Citizen TV that he had not been informed about any deportation of his country's citizens.
Unfortunately, we haven't received the official communication from the Kenyan government. The embassy is requesting the Kenya side to provide concerning information to us according to international practice and law.
We received some complaints from traders about alleged misdemeanors by their foreign counterparts, but they did not provide any evidence of the same. But we were very curious when we heard that there is a way to send money to China and to receive money from China without going through the formal banking system. We sought to find out how true that claim actually is. The trader operates this phone shop on the 2nd floor of a dimly lit building on Luthuli Avenue. We quickly gained his trust, and he had no qualms explaining how he could send money quickly to any location in China on our behalf via his mobile phone linked account.
Oh, tell me how much you want to send?
So you give me an account, I want to send 2.5.
Oh, this is a lot. Bank.
How much should I send?
You can supply the different kind of deposit.
It's possible, yeah.
It's better for you because of over 1 million, they'll ask you invoice. So they'll ask you why this money deposit. Let me give you.
So I can give you.
Yeah,
let me give bits of around 5. Yeah, but that's a lot.
Oh, process like this. Yeah. For example, like Kamal, with cash, he gave me his count for China. For example, this is his count. Looks like this. His count. Then ABC bank. Any bank in China is okay. Let me see this Chinese name. This is the account number.
But I'm supposed to send it to my supplier.
Yeah, send it to your supplier.
So supplier is the one who's supposed to give me the account.
Yeah.
So are you charging me for?
No, I'm not charging you any commission. Your money might not give to me. 2 minutes or 1 minute in discount. You can call her, confirm the same time.
How do you make your money?
Oh, it's like this. Yeah. I get money. For example, I get a sharing.
Yeah.
There's so many company, construction company.
Yeah.
them. I gave you shiny, I gave to them to give me something.
They gave you something. That's right. That's yes.
This is why. If my rate is high, people cannot come here.
On the wall, the trader has all the documentation needed to run a phone shop. Now, to put this claim to the test, we put together 127,000 Kenya shillings, which we wanted to send to a supplier in China. We returned to the trader's store, hand over the money and details of the account in China where the money should be deposited. Within minutes, our volunteer receives independent confirmation that the Chinese yen equivalent of what he handed over to the trader is now in the relevant bank account. No paperwork needed and no questions asked. We requested an interview with the same trader to get his side of the story, but he declined to speak to us, insisting that he runs a legitimate phone shop. Good, my name is Wahiga, I'm a reporter. I want to do an interview. Is it possible?
Which TV?
Citizen TV. Do you watch Citizen TV?
I know.
You know. Interview. I'm told you can send money from here to China.
No.
Not true? I have pictures. Not you. When can I come back then? You tell me when I come back.
I'm selling mobile phone.
Oh, you sell mobile phone?
Yes.
So no money, no nothing?
No.
Okay. How can I reach you then if I want to call you later?
I'm selling mobile. If you want to buy mobile, come here to buy.
Come here to buy. Okay. We leave after the trader makes it clear that he does not want to speak to us either now or later. One can only wonder how his actions fly in the face of the current anti-money laundering drive by the Kenyan government. The Chinese and other foreign nationals have descended on markets like Gikomba at a time when Kenyan small-scale businesses are grappling with new challenges. Local traders complain about high taxes, opaque government processes, and their latest concern, delayed clearance of goods at the port of Mombasa. But even on this, observers say there is no level playing field.
Some containers are not being cleared from 2017, others 6 months, others 8 months. But when you look at these Chinese shops, they bring containers almost on a monthly basis.
It's an entire value chain. Yes. It's an entire value chain.
Yeah.
Number one, the KEBS appointees in China inspecting our goods, imports are the ones colluding. So start from there.
Oh my God.
If KEBS is appointed, let Kenyans, the Kenyans in China have met them. We have a Confucius Institute here in the University of Nairobi that's teaching Chinese. Let them go inspect our things so they don't delay them.
Kwa ukweli hatujawatendea haki kulingana na ile mahitaji ambayo mko nayo.
Let's crunch some numbers here. A 10-kilogram carton of fish from China, it's been transported about 8,000 kilometers to get to this market, Gikomba, will set you back about 1,800 Kenya shillings. But the same 10-kilogram carton of fish, which has now been transported from Lake Victoria, which is 400 kilometers away, will set you back at least 3,500 Kenya shillings. There are a series of factors that fuel this contradiction.
The amount of tilapia that is produced in Kenya through our big lakes only covers 27% of what we need. So it means that there's demand that is unmet. People are prepared to buy fish, but they can't get enough. And that's part of the reason why actually fish prices are a bit high in this country. So if you stop the Chinese from bringing fish, what you will do is you'll just jack up prices. So the few people who already are trading fish are the ones who will make most of that money.
In November last year, the Kenyan government moved to try to protect the Lake Victoria fishing industry by imposing an import ban on foreign tilapia. But the restrictions were lifted in January, with unconfirmed reports that the Chinese government had threatened economic sanctions or a freeze on funding to the standard gauge railway. We visited the fish section in Gikomba market on a weekday and saw the scramble for fish by retailers here from a supplier. Chinese tilapia is easily available here, but traders have mixed views on its popularity. As the debate on China rages, some Kenyans have complained about how difficult it is to get into the East Asian nation for business, in spite of what seems to be easy access for their nationals in Kenya. According to the website of the Chinese embassy in Kenya, you require a Type M business visa, and the requirements are a valid passport, the visa application form, round plane ticket reservations, documents on the commercial activity issued by a trade partner in China or trade fair invitation, relevant entity or individual. In addition, an invitation letter is also required that gives information on the planned visit. Meanwhile, for foreigners coming to Kenya, they have 5 visa options, with the most common being the single entry visa for business or tourist purposes. The basic requirements, according to the e-visa website, are a valid passport, return ticket, and 5,200 Kenya shillings. The Chinese ambassador, however, told Citizen TV that they are piloting a new visa system for Kenyans that will make their access to China much easier from July. Kenya's retailers are not the only ones in Africa grappling with competition from Chinese traders. Back in 2016, a Ugandan parliamentary committee recommended that Chinese retail traders should not operate in certain public markets and even gave them deadlines to exit. It is unclear whether this directive was implemented. Meanwhile, in Ghana, a thesis study revealed that Chinese traders both help and hurt local merchants in equal measure. But economists opine that foreign investment is good for any economy as long as taxes are paid and the law is followed.
If you look at the overall economy, there will be no issue. The economy will grow so long as Chinese are delivering. The issue now on the other side will be Kenya wants to be part of that growth. That is the biggest debate. Want to be part of that growth. And so how does government address that? There are countries that put quotas and all those kind of things.
Somebody leaves his home, comes back 6,000 kilometers, and we are afraid he's going to outcompete us at home. If that happens, then that tells you our business standards are very low. But it is unlikely that 5 years from now we'll go to Nyamakima and every single stall out there will be held by Chinese.
Recently, China gave its strongest indication yet that it is ready to negotiate a trade deal with Kenya and the East African community to address Kenya's complaints about a huge trade imbalance in favor of the Asian economic giant. Kenya imported goods worth 370.8 billion Kenya shillings from China last year, while exporting just 11.32 billion shillings of goods there.
Kenya, only through industrialization, can reduce your import and enhance your export. No country can avoid that model.
Now, Kenya and China are members of the World Trade Organization, which binds them to operate a non-discriminatory trading system, guaranteeing protection of one's exports in other countries and promises to do the same for imports in their own markets.
I myself, as Chinese ambassador, now take actions like introducing Chinese buyers to Kenya coffee and the nuts farms.
However, for some critics of Kenya-China relations, this system seems to favor the bigger player over the smaller, and traders in markets like Gikomba insist that they are the latest evidence of that imbalance. Reporting for Citizen TV, I'm Wahiga Mwaura.